we would ask for your favorable consideration on this legislation.
Thank you, Representative Fry. Now, let me point out, and I don't know if you all, what Representative Fry is presenting is the substitute to House Bill 750. Do you have that? Okay, you do have that? Okay.
Right, I apologize for omitting that. Right.
No, I should have said that before you came up. I just wanted to make sure the committee members already had, because I think it was still pretty warm.
Right.
When the committee meeting started. Okay, are there any questions for Representative Fry concerning the substitute? Yeah, I see. I don't know who was first. Or doesn't matter. This is a question. Yeah, any question. He was describing the substitute. So when I refer to any questions, I make sure we're looking at the substitute. Ms. Frazier.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Representative Fry, I just have one question. How many other states now have this exemption?
So I had the same question. I called Habitat International the other day and asked their federal person that works on issues like this and said, how many other states have this exemption as well? And she said to me, all of them. And I said, well, okay, that sounds fine. Just tell me how many really there are. And she said 49. So we will be the 50th state in the nation to address this issue specifically like we're addressing it today.
Thank you.
Representative Flood.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And Representative Fry, I applaud you for bringing this bill to our attention. I remember a couple of years ago when we created these exemptions in the mortgage licensing bill, and it was apparently an oversight that we did not include the nonprofits like Habitat for Humanity. And I'm glad to see that you have a 0% foreclosure rate and are doing the kind of work, and applaud this bill, and would urge my colleagues to support it.
Thank you.
Okay. Representative Coomer, I believe, has a question.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. In a few places in the bill, I noticed, and in particular line 26, I think it's the first place I saw it, there's a phrase, terms that are favorable to the borrower, and I saw that in a couple other places. Is that a term of art, or is it defined somewhere, or what does that mean?
I believe, now Mr. Fears can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that is up to the administrative definition of the banking and finance department, where this bill allows them oversight into the definition of a bona fide nonprofit, allows them to have administrative ability to check the books of that nonprofit, and allows them to decide administratively whether that nonprofit meets the requirements outlined in this bill, where they can allow somebody to proceed, or they can stop them from originating mortgages as they see fit.
So that term's favorable to the borrower, that's defined somewhere in regulation? It's already in.
I'm not aware of a specific definition for that. Mr. Fears, can I ask if you are aware? Mr. Chairman, can I ask
asking me if I'm? Yeah, I think you have to come up, and they'd like for you to and just identify yourself and tell me. You can share the podium with Representative Fry.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Representative Coomer, that's...
yeah, they like for you to identify yourself.
Oh, I'm sorry.
For the record.
Yeah, sure. Bo Fears, and I with the Georgia Department of Banking and Finance. What that does, that provision, is the department is going to have to enact rules and regulations to determine what is a bona fide nonprofit corporation. And one of those things is, will the terms be favorable to the borrower? And that's something we'll fill in the gap. But that's structured on federal language.
So is there already federal language that defines terms favorable to the borrower?
What it does is it defers it to the states, and so it's going to be really something that kind of we adopt our regs and what we put in place. The other 49 states already have something that it's slightly different, and we're just going to have to figure out where we want to put it.
So we're going to leave that term up to to what agency?
The Department of Banking and Finance.
Okay. Thank you.
Are there any other questions for the author? We've got 3 speakers on behalf of the bill, or at least want to speak on the bill. Since they have Habitat for Humanity beside their names, I'm assuming they're supporting the bill. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't, okay. Representative Vice Chairman Williamson had a question.
Just one real quick question. Did you tell us what the consequences are absent this legislation to, in particular, Habitat for Humanity?
Potentially.
What's the harm done if we didn't address this issue?
If we didn't address this issue, there's 70 affiliates around the state of Georgia. A lot of the affiliates do not have employees, and they're nonprofits based on total volunteers. It will put an undue burden on these smaller affiliates. And I say smaller, we're one of the largest in Northeast Georgia. Potentially, we could go out and get a mortgage originator with a bona fide license to step in. It would preclude me from being able to talk about the 0% interest in the mortgage payment to our potential buyers. But to the smaller affiliates, it would be devastating. You have a group of volunteers that run these habitats around the state, and they buy the land, they select the family, they build the houses themselves, and then they turn the mortgage over to the family. And that's a lot of work for a group of 10 to 15 groups of folks just to do on their own. So that would be, it's undue burden on these.
So we don't want President Carter to be a crook. That was a joke. Now it's well known. It's well known how he's supported the organization over the years. But the broader point is that, and I myself have been active and have worked on behalf of Habitat for Humanity in years past. And what you're saying is that these people that are wanting to improve their local communities, absent us correcting this basically technicality on behalf of Habitat Humanity, is going to hurt the efforts to provide decent, safe, and sanitary housing through Habitat Humanity in all the communities in Georgia.
Absolutely, and just for clarification, as far as we know, we are one of the few, if not only, organizations that do originate mortgages of this kind. We build the homes, we pick the homeowners, we check the credit, we originate the mortgages, we service the mortgages. We're just a one-stop shop that started so long ago. And, you know, for the record, you have been very supportive of your local affiliate, and we appreciate that.
Thank you. No more questions for Mr. Fry. Because of the limited time, we've got 4 actual speakers on the bill. I would ask them to limit their time to 30 seconds to speak on the bill apiece. Now, the first person to sign up is Brinkley Pound.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Representative Fry. If you'll give us your name and tell us who you're with.
Mr. Chairman and members of the committee, thank you for allowing me to be here today. My name is Brinkley Pound, and I represent the Columbus Area Habitat for Humanity affiliate, which serves Columbus and Muscogee County. It is one of 66 active affiliates in Georgia. Since 1984, our affiliate has constructed and sold and serviced 278 homes in their mortgages to hardworking Georgia families. In Georgia, over 5,200 homes have been sold. Last November, the Columbus affiliate held a mortgage burning ceremony where 15 families celebrated paying off their zero-interest mortgage and paying it off early. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Pound. Paul Brown.
Good
Give us your
afternoon,
name and
Chairman
tell us who you're
and
with.
member. My name is Paul Browdett. I work with Jackson County Habitat for Humanity in Jefferson, Georgia, and I also volunteer in Barrow County, which is right next door. Over the years, we've serviced 77 families, building homes and giving them a better place to live. This fall, just down the road here a few miles, we celebrated the 800,000th house milestone for houses that were helped worldwide with Habitat for Humanity. I'm asking for your support on this bill, which would help my work, since I am the only employee of our affiliate that has to build the homes and originate these mortgages. That would make my work streamline so much faster that we could help more families. Thank you again for your consideration.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. Next is Bob Boyd.
Thank you very much. Excuse me. Thank you very much for letting me speak on behalf of House Bill 750. I'm Bob Boyd. I'm the Executive Director of Habitat for Humanity in DeKalb County. Today I'm representing the 7 or 8 Atlanta Habitat affiliates that are in the greater Atlanta area. And all of us, like my friend in Athens, have great stories to tell about homeowners. And I'm not going to mention that today, but I did want to let you know that many Habitat affiliates have restores, which is similar to a Goodwill store. The difference is, in a restore, we sell new and used surplus construction materials. And I think it's important for you all to know that nearly $1.5 million in sales tax has gone back to the state of Georgia through state revenue. I appreciate you all's support of House Bill 750, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Boyd. And Harold Tessendorf, did I get that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can say it again and tell us again.
Good afternoon, members of the committee. Mr. Chairman, thank you very much for the opportunity to speak in support of House Bill 750. My name is Harold Tessendorf. I'm the Executive Director of Macon Area Habitat for Humanity. Since our affiliate's inception, we have served 98 families in Bibb and Jones counties here in Georgia. And this year we plan to serve another 10 families through our efforts. Together with the other, my affiliate, joining with all those others that have been mentioned around the state of Georgia, our impact, our combined impact on Georgia's economy since our inceptions has been close to $3 billion. So once again, we want to thank you for your support of this bill. We want to thank you for your support of Habitat and providing affordable home ownership opportunities in your communities. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I believe that concludes our speakers. Again, we will reconvene as a committee tomorrow at 2 to consider House Bill 750 and House Bill 809. I appreciate your patience. It was a long meeting, but very informative. This meeting's adjourned.